Hello everyone, welcome back. Today we're going to study about what are Python flow control. Under this, we will be studying about what are the if else, for loop, while loop, break and continue and the pass statement. The for loop we're going to use in all the programs, whereas in every of this section we will be learning about the programs also as well as to the flow control. Moving forward to that, why it exists, why it doesn't exist, it depends upon the former, more of the current points. Now, what is the for loop? So the for loop is in your Python is used to iterate over a sequence, that is your list, tuple or the string, any of it. And any of your decision making is given for a determination of a conditional loop. Okay, sorry, there is no slide I guess I added. So let us move to this part. So the topic for today and in this first topic is your for loop. Okay, it is for loop in Python. Now what is your for loop in Python? It is used to iterate over a sequence. Just to remember the definition of your for loop is it is used to iterate over a sequence. Okay, just remember this point that what the for loop is. It is iOS. Okay, now what is iOS? It is iterate over a sequence, correct? Now this what this sequence contain of. This is also containing some of the points. It is either a list is there, either or the tuple or a string. Correct? We have list, tuple, we have string. Now what is your for loop in Python? It is iOS. What is iOS? It is iterate over a sequence. For a sequence, what it will be containing, it is your list, tuple and your string. Or what iterating over means is iterating over a sequence is also called as a transversal. Okay, just remember this point. Iterating over some of the sequence is also known as the transversal. If I'll make you a point, if I'll say any of your syntax, first of all let me tell you the syntax of it. If I'm using a syntax for loop, the syntax for this is for val in a sequence. Okay, now below there will be the indentation after the 4 gaps. 1 2 3 4. Correct? For loop body it is. Okay, the loop of the body will be started in this. Now here the val is your variable. Here the val is your variable that takes the value of an item inside the sequence on each iteration. And the loop will continue until or unless we reach the last item in a sequence. If I'll tell you one thing, like you have to go outside to buy a milk. Okay, now you want to make a tea, correct? You need to make a tea, but you don't have milk. What you will do, either you will skip your tea or you will go outside to buy the milk, correct? Now for that also you need a vehicle or you will go by a foot. So there are some conditions where you are being applying to, and until you reach to the final product or until you reach to buy a packet of a milk, then the satisfaction is there. Similarly is with your loops. Like if I'll give you some input and there is some conditions, if the conditions are not satisfied for me, I will keep asking you like complete this. Okay, so that's how the loop varies and works well. Now let us perform one, let us have one flow chart in a for loop. Correct? Here I'm just remember and understand this flow chart. If I'm passing something, okay, I'm just making an I am explain you. Correct? If I'll say that for each of the item, for each item in a sequence, in the first one, sequence is this, and this is your last item. Correct? Correct? Now I'll make one more flow, and after that one more. And your arrows are very much important to give a direction. Okay, just now see one thing. Yes and no. Correct? Now if I'll pass something, okay, if I'll pass something in this is for the for loop, and value is also there, but it will differentiate yes or no. Correct? If else, okay, let us perform an example of the milk only. Correct? In this, if I'll say that you have to make a cup of tea, but you don't have milk. Correct? You don't have milk. And in this you want to buy you want to go outside to buy a packet of milk. What you will do is, this is your loop started. If you have a milk, then okay, you will make a tea. If not, you will go through a body. In the body, what you will do, like you will go outside first of all to with a vehicle or by a foot, then you will take a milk, or there is more conditions. Okay, then your the tea will be making. But if you have, the exit is already there, like you will be making the tea by it because you have a resources. So let us like perform one example for loop. Is your for loop example. I'm declaring a number, list of number 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 8, 9. Correct? I'm just giving. Now I want a variable to store the sum. I'm going to have a sum of it. Correct? If I'll say that the sum is equals to 0, or I'll say the sum is 0. Now I'm gonna iterate the last of the value over the list. Okay. Now if I'll say the for val in numbers, either I can say number also, but it will some give me error because of fixed points. Okay. If I'll say this, and the sum is equals to sum plus val. Correct? If I'll say that the sum is equals to sum plus val, and now I need to print. Now I need to print the sum. And just to look nice, I'll just write the sum is. Okay, let us run this. The sum is okay. Okay, correct. So this how your for loop works. So I gave a number, the list of the number that it is starting from 1 to 9. Then I just give that the sum is 0 as in storage, as a variable to store the sum. Okay, if I'll say the sum is 1, correct? Your sum is 1. So the answer is 46. Sum is 1, 1, this is 1, and plus variables, the val value. So it will be the calculation value is this one, and sum is your 1, correct? So that's why the answer is 46. If I'll say that the sum is already a 0 part, or it will give me only and only the sum of these numbers, correct? It is the, and this is your iteration, iterating over the list, correct? This is iterate over a list, correct? Okay, so that how the answer is 46. 1 plus 2 plus 3 plus 4 plus 5 plus 6 plus 7 plus 8 plus 9. Your answer is 46 in this, correct? Let us move to next one. It is your LF. Now what is LF and how your LF has performed with the conditional part? While making a decision making is required when we want to execute a code only if the certain conditions are satisfied, correct? When your conditions are satisfied in your the former icon flow chart, it gives you a variable part, that is that your decision is already made and we want to now just to execute a code, okay? And if your decision is on the process to make, so the condition will be satisfied. The if else statement or if elif or else statement is used for Python for making a decision making. In a Python, we can say that in the body of the statement, if statement is indicated and suggested by your indentations. You know about the indentations. If you don't apply the indentation perfectly, there will be some errors. Okay, body always starts with the indentation, and the first unindented line will be marked the end. Python also interprets a non-zero value as a true or none or zero as a it will be interpreted as in false, correct? Now moving forward to the what is the flowchart of if else, or we can say about the if also. Okay, now what is starting with the if? Now what is the starting of your if statement to syntax of? Now what is your syntax of if statement? Sorry. Correct. Now what is the syntax? Or if test expression, any of your if any test expression, I'm just using randomly. Now it will give me a statement. As usual we used to take. Correct? Now here the program, what the program we're gonna evaluate or any of the evaluates the test expressions and will execute the statement. Whatever the statement is there, it will execute only and only this. And if the expression is true or if the expression is already occurred, so it will come as a true variable. Else it will give us the false. Correct? Now for the flowchart, what happened with the if one? Okay. Correct. This is your test one. Test TS I'm writing. This is test statement. This is a body of if. Okay, and either if it comes false or the condition is true, it will appear. Okay, now I already told you, like if the body of the if statement is indicated by the indentation, the body starts with an indentation and the first unindented line makes the end. And Python interprets non-zero values as true, none, zero. and interpret it as a false. True, 1. Give me a minute. I guess something occurred. Okay, it is something loading. Let us perform one example of your if statement. If statement I'm using. Correct? I'm using for that. I'm taking a number. That number is equals to 3. If I'll say that if number is less than 0, I need to print. What I need to print is I need to print a number. Correct? I need to print a number, and in that I need a text also writing that this is positive number. This is positive number. Correct? Or I'll say that the print, or it can print two variables also. Okay, this is printed. Correct? Now comes, what if your number is -7? -1 we can take, or 7, any of them. If number is less than or greater than 0, again, then print like the number is also positive and the condition is true. Okay. Let us give an indentation error, indentation point, and same we will print that this is also printed. Now I don't know whether it will take an input or not. Let us print this. Okay, correct. So 3, this is a positive number, it is greater than 0. Then again it came that this is printed and this is printed. Okay, it comes upon the variable part it you should take. Okay, when we will run this program, it will give me this output. 3 is obviously it is greater than 0. Okay, if I'll say that print number -1, and over here if I'll write 0, and after that I'll run this, so it will not give me any value because -1 is not greater than 0. Okay, I'm talking about the positive parts. Correct? Now moving forward to the loops. Now loops, we have a programming, or we have to like repeat it out. Loops are always used in your programming to repeat a specific block of code. And in a looping we construct in a Python, we use the while or we use a for. Okay, either we use the while or we use the for loop. In a while loop, the basic criteria of it is just to iterate over a block of code as long as the test expression is true. We generally use the loops that we don't know beforehand, or a number or any iterating, a number of times it is being iterating. For the syntax for using a while loop is while test expression body of while. Same we did with the F1 also. If test expression, if of body of F. Okay, that how it has to be performed with the basic prepositions. Correct? And whatever it happens in a loop, and always remember when there is an equation of a while, if, or for, just remember one thing, that you need to first of all bring that question in your mind as an example. Okay, bringing that question as an example will give you a more sophisticated part to think of, like what to do in this program actually. Correct? Now if I'll say that we are moving to the while loop, we'll take a small example that I is equals to 1, Just take a small examples, because if you are able to do the small one, the bigger one automatically you're gonna do it. I'll say that the I is equals to this, and if I'll say the I is greater than 6, then what will happen? Print I. Correct? I'll say the print I. There will be some increment. There will be some increment. Correct? Let us run this. So the answer is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Correct? If I is less than 6. Okay. अब क्या होगा? I की हमने वैल्यू दे दी 1. करेक्ट? अब क्या करेगा? I तब तक रन करेगा जब तक उसकी वैल्यू जो है 6 तक नहीं आ जाती, 6 से कम नहीं आ जाती. करेक्ट? Now if I'll say, let me just run that one note. Yes. If I'll say, like, I wrote a program that I is equals to 1, and while I is less than 6, correct? I wrote this, I is equals to 1 while I is less than 6. Now I need to print I. Okay, I need to print I, and I need an I of increment of 1, correct? Now what will happen? This value will run again and again until it gains a value less than 6. This is like increment of 1. In the 0, it will be 0 plus 1, that is 1. Then 1 is the value, 1 plus 0, I think we will not take. It is starting obviously from that. If I am taking 1 plus 1, that will be 2. Yes, 0 will be taken, correct. And again, I'll give to 2 plus 1. It is giving me 3. 3 plus 1. 4. 4 plus 1. 5. If I write the 5 plus 1 is equals to 6, this will not occur, correct? Because we wrote that I is the incremented is equals to 1, but we need a value I less than 6, correct? So it will be starting from 0. The value is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. These are the values we will get in the while loop. If I'll say that I need the value less than 7, so that this in output we will be getting again. Let us just get it towards. If I'll say that it is less than 7, okay, then let's run it. So the value obtaining is like less than 7, and the 6 is also is there, correct? This is how your while loop has been run. This for loop we did. Now the break statement. What is your break statement and a continuous statement? In your loops, iterating over a block of code until the test expression is false. But sometimes what happened is like we used to terminate the particular current iteration, but even every of your loop will test it out or check out as in without checking the test expression. In a white statement, the white statement terminates the loop containing all the control over the program flow to the statement immediately after the body of your loop, correct? And whenever the body of the loop will be obtaining or it has been terminating, the values satisfy the needs, correct? And the breakage, if the statement has been break of in the nested loop, the break will terminate the innermost loop itself. That is called inner looping breakage. Let us just form one example. The same example we will take. We have done this. This is for the while loop. Okay, we did for the while loop. Now, if I make a statement and I want to print I, but in I need I is equals to 3. and then break the statement. Correct? Then again I'll go that for the increment. Now let us check the answer on this. The answer is 3. I is 1. And I also give a condition that the resultant output of the I should less than 6. And after that print I. Now if your I is equals to 3, the program will break. This will execute and this will not execute until or unless this is run. Okay, हमें ये करना है कि हमें I की वैल्यू दे दी है. अब हमें क्या करना है कि हमने बोला कि लाइक हाँ ठीक है, I की वैल्यू वी गॉट लाइक लेस देन 6. पिछले प्रोग्राम में हमने ऐसे किया था तो ठीक है, वो अप टू 5 आ गया था. बट हमने ये कंडीशन दी है कि हमें हमारी I की वैल्यू लेस देन 6 होनी चाहिए एंड प्रिंट I. बट उसके फर्दर भी कंडीशन है कि जब तक I हमारा 3 के इक्वल हो जाता है तब तक ही बस लूप रन करेगी, उसके बाद ब्रेक हो जाएगा. तो 4 5 का कोई हमारे पास इसकी एडवांटेज नहीं है, बिकॉज हमने प्रोग्राम को ऑलरेडी ही एग्जीक्यूट करवा रखा है 3 जब हमने हमारी इक्वल टू 3 हुई थी. एंड इसमें हमारी कौन कौन सी वैल्यू रन हुई है? इसमें हमारी वैल्यू रन हुई है ये वाली 0 वाली, 0 प्लस 1 वाली, करेक्ट, 1 प्लस 1 वाली, 2 प्लस 1 वाली. और जब हमारा आंसर 3 के इक्वल आ गया तो हमारी जो स्टेटमेंट लूप है वो ब्रेक हो जाएगी एंड इट विल नॉट इंक्रीमेंट नाइदर वी विल गिव द फर्दर values in it. Correct? And this is the main point to remember, like when a break is obtained, nothing the next values are not given to us. Now for the continue statement, what happens in the continue statement? With a continue statement we can stop the current iteration and continue with the next. Okay, and we will all obviously, like, loop will never terminate but continue on to the next iterations. It is used to skip the rest of the code inside a loop for a current iteration only. Okay, but remember one thing, the continue and break both are different. If I'll show you one more example, in this example only, if I'll write, if I'll say that my I is equals to 1, and after this the condition is same, I will not write break continue, I'll write, okay, then I'll print again. That was something different, break, the exchange of the basic point was there. Okay, now when I'll run this, just see one thing, I is equals to 1 and I is less than 6. There is an increment in 1, but until or unless it is approached to the 3, it will done, and after that continue it. We haven't take this one, I is equals to 1, the starting point. After that we took as iterations, because we know that the continue statement, we cannot stop the current iteration, but we can continue with the next. Correct? With the continuation of the next is done with the help of this. What happened is, what happened in this is, it is the continue one. What we wrote is I is equals to 0 while your I is less than 6, okay, and I plus 1 is equals to I plus is equals to 1, and if your I statement, then continue, then print I. Correct? This is how your continue is done. But with the break one, what we did is, we have exchanged this value. and in that we ran the program up to we ran the program till the 3 came, but in this the iteration is being stopped. Your break statement means we cannot stop the loop even if the while statement is true. In your continue statement, it means that we can skip the current iteration and continue with the next. These both have the different meaning and different elements in that. Correct? And one more thing to remember is, in a while loop, we have done a inside breakage. Correct? But whereas in your conditional part, it has obtained with the breakage code inside the while loop. Okay, in that the iteration is in the continue, the iteration is already broken, just for the sake of like the resultant part we did as an continue statement. Correct? I hope this much is clear to you up to the Python flow control, and the previous two you have been totally understood the concepts. Just remember that if, for, while, else, if, and your for loop, break and continue in your past statements is much more important, because in upcoming like video or in your career too, you need to specify some of the conditions. They will give you a condition and you have to solve it by using a loop. So obviously they are not simplest part. Correct? Thank you so much for watching this. Stay tuned.